What is up, everybody? We are back, and it is not clickbait at all, in some form. Knights of the Old Republic 3, Episode 1, The Revenge of Revan, has been made and has been released by our good friend here, Logan2378. He has released a Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 3, Revenge of Revan Episode 1 mod that mods an Episode 3 on top of KOTOR 2. So it uses all the systems within KOTOR 2 and mods a new story, a new game, and new everything, all that on top of the base layer that KOTOR 2 provides with the systems of combat, the D20 system, everything like that is still included. This game is set 8 years after KOTOR 2. It is set between KOTOR 2 and the Knights of the Old Republic online game, the MMO game. And it has 2 different modes you can follow. As you see here, Star Wars fans or something made. KOTOR 2 has been released its first episode in KOTOR 2. KOTOR 3 has been created. Revenge of Revan takes place 8 years after KOTOR 2, where you will find the Jedi Order starting to rebuild as they find their place in the Republic that has been absent from the Jedi Order for some years. So you will be coming into this area where KOTOR 2 has ended, Malachor 5 is ended, whatever, Darth Trey is gone, all the other Sith are gone, and the Exiled, presumably, is either gone, vanished, or something of the sort. And now the Jedi Order is starting to rebuild, and you are potentially, one of these Jedi that is joining the New Order as it is being rebuilt to become the Jedi Order as it stands today that leads into the Old Republic, so on and so forth. Revenge of Revan is a standalone original story that allows you to continue your saga with whatever choices you made in KOTOR 1 and 2, whether you use the canon setup or your own personal version. This makes me think that there's something you can do with maybe your KOTOR 1 and 2 saves, or you can just kind of make some choices going into the game that, let's say, you went dark side Revan and had mission in Zalbar, that altercation go down. You can choose to have that in the story woven into the context of KOTOR 3, this Revenge of Revan story, so that maybe your character, or if you're Revan, or if you're just a different Jedi, one of the two, comes around and brings up the fact that, Zalbar ended up killing Mission. Spoiler alert if you haven't played the game and gone dark side route. Either way, the mod is a bridge between KOTOR 2 and Star Wars The Old Republic. You will see cameos and interact with some former characters from the first KOTOR games depending on your choice setup. So this canon mode that is talking about up here, whether you use the canon setup or your personal, down here it says that there's a cool feature where the mod features 2 options. These are the canon and non-canon options. The canon option sets the mod to adhere to the events of the Revan novel, which sets up the Old Republic MMO. On the other hand, the non-canon option sets up the mod to adhere to an alternative scenario. What that is, I'm not sure. I haven't played it. It's going to have to be something I explore. The endings in the mod may be different depending on what option you choose. The mod features over 50 PC heads, including aliens with the ability to wear headgear. It offers around 3 hours of gameplay and comes with some new original soundtracks. Your dialogue options will be based on your Jedi class, and characters will at times react to your species choice. Therefore, there's limited voice acting for low-level human NPCs. Okay, so let's say you're a Twi'lek. I believe there's some images that he provides here on Deadlystream. You can go to Deadlystream and download this mod, and he has some images here. So when you load in, the Revenge of Revan has its own separate background, showing some of the events. That's potentially a master that you're going to interact with, or maybe something like that. But as you can see, it keeps the same kind of scheme that KOTOR 2 kept, with Darth Nihilus standing here in the smoke, all dark, or Darth Traya, either or Darth Sion, and then the same kind of options here for movies and things like that. And then, as you can see, this looks like this is your main character. You get this different green option for text down here. And then there's just different things. You actually meet with the new Jedi Council, and you can kind of see how the new council has been forming, and you're on Coruscant. And as you can see here, you look like you're on Duxon again, but the plants are kind of updated, the graphics look a little updated, and there's different people you can interact with. This is all the same down here at the right for the character selection. This menu looks a little better, and your mini maps up there. Got him back. Let's go, Bio-Dur. And then we're back on Onderon, it looks like. And as you can see, you can get Jedi lightsabers, orange crystal. That is the same head as one of the player character options. So that's what you get from the initial images provided by Logan23. Down here, he does say that there are some different ways to install it. First, download a new KOTOR 2 game for Steam users, yada yada. If you're going to implement this, read this on Deadlystream before you install it, and just kind of know that there is some steps to follow so that you don't mess things up. However, choosing Revan and the Jedi Exile's alignment and gender will impact Revenge of Revan is interesting. So there's the options, it seems like, at the beginning of the game where you get to choose the setup for the game. Kind of like I said before. You might not get to go too deep into the weeds of setting up like what options do what, kind of like the mission and things like that. But you get to at least choose whether Revan saved the Republic or kind of downcast the Republic before he left. And then the Exile, whether he blew up Malachor, yada yada, so on and so forth, after he beat Darth Traya. Anyways, the game kicks off with an event on Corellia will set events in motion as you try to unravel the mystery before it's too late. And within the 8-year span that the Exile is gone, the Republic that has been absent from the Jedi Order for some years, an event on Corellia. I mean, you just get to jump right into this thing and just have a good time, swinging a lightsaber, becoming a Jedi, choosing a Jedi class. And the fact that your Jedi class gets to determine some different dialogue options is interesting and really new compared to like what KOTOR 1 and KOTOR 2 did. The only really difference between those three aspects was whether you chose one at the training academy and then the Jedi Masters kind of reacted in one way. That was about it. And then the second game kind of just depends on like some of your conversations with Kreia and the upgraded Jedi classes that you get and the options that are there for you in that, and then just those upgrade options. With the Jedi class and the characters will react to your species choice, I wonder if the 50 PC heads, 50 player character heads, I wonder what all these include, because obviously there's a Twi'lek option shown here, there's human options, but past that, what are the options? How far does this go into? Do you get to be kind of what Bio-Dur is? Do you get to be a Trandoshan maybe? Like anything like that? As far in depth as this can go, I think it's just better for it overall. And this was submitted April 3rd and updated last April 8th. So this is pretty current. This is up to date. This is only 20 days old on this update. And so if you're going to update it, just know you need 2 gigabytes of download space to run this mod on top of the download for KOTOR 2. So make sure you have ample space, which shouldn't be a problem if you have like 3 gigabytes on your computer. I would hope so at this point with the way storage is. But either way, go out there, give this a check. Shout out Logan23. I'm not sure how many other people worked on this with him or if this is a solo project for him, but he is making an entire mod of KOTOR 3 layered on top of KOTOR 2, which is impressive in its own right. And who doesn't want a little bit of extra story, which has some canon built into it because it's based off the Revenge of Revan novel, or the Revan novel. It's based off of that. So everything here kind of has its own roots within the Star Wars story that follows Revan to a point where it actually makes sense and builds into the story. So even if you haven't read the Revan novel or you haven't played the Old Republic online, it would be worth playing and just getting extra context if you like Revan as a character or you like this period of the Republic and the Jedi Knights and everything like that. It would just be worth it to play to get that context, and just maybe it inspires you to go read the Book of Revan. I don't know. Either way, super cool project. Super cool shout out to Logan2378. Go give him a shout out. Go give him a like. Go give him a fucking download on this, because this is just interesting and cool, and you can't hate it when there's just more Star Wars things coming out that isn't controlled by Disney explicitly. So, always have fun. Always keep it cool. Remember, a man is lost without the sauce, so you can get lost in the sauce. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace.